All right, what's up, YouTube? Okay, check it out. I just made a response video to Ego Boxing. He did a video about Kathy Duva, and it was just completely false and just I don't know. Maybe he didn't do his homework. I'm not sure what it was, but anyway, that video got me thinking. About the state of things in the YTBC, as they call it, the YouTube boxing community. Now, there seems to be this narrative, this game, this scheme, I don't know what you want to call it, of racism and biased reporting. And really, I'm not going to mention who said this, but someone said it's like it trickles down from mainstream media. It's a microcosm. They said it's a microcosm from mainstream media, and it just like falls down on the lower tier guys like us, the independent media. And really, it's true because you have it going on CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and that's what these channels are doing. It's like this, I don't know, this far left mentality where everything is racist, everything is biased, everything is other than what it actually is. Okay, and here's the thing. I mean, you have guys like Deontay's Boxing Nation. I mean, leading the charge. Okay, spearheading the operation. Ego Boxing, 78, and others I will not mention that want to be just like them. They want to be an advocate for anti-racism in boxing, but yet they're the only ones that are actually being racist. They're pointing the fingers at people like me and you, calling you a racist because you like Gennady Golovkin or even someone like Manny Pacquiao. But in fact, they're being racist themselves and completely biased. For example, I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to waste your time giving you tons of examples, but they're everywhere. With Gennady Golovkin, Manny Pacquiao. I mean, just look at currently with Lomachenko, with Vasily Lomachenko, right? I mean, a guy like Earl Spence beats Chris Algieri, and he's pound for pound, the greatest boxer on the planet. But then you have this amazing, gifted, talented boxer that comes along, and it's like painful for these guys to report on them. They're just like, go back and watch their post like Lomachenko Sosa videos, like when he just beat Jason Sosa. I mean, you can tell it is painful for these guys to just cover the news when it comes to Loma. But of course, oh well, Crawford can beat him, and Mikey Garcia, anyone other than a white guy can beat him, right? I mean, they've got to start that because they can't stand it that there's a white guy coming up, taking some of the thunder away from these other guys. So, really, it's a racist way of thinking because I don't care who's up at top. Doesn't matter to me. Really, they can be purple. I don't care as long as they're good, right? And it's because I support boxing. So I mean, look, man, these guys, I mean, they really should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, what they do is they play on your emotions, okay? They basically manipulate you and twist things up. They report in a biased way, just to get your click. It's all in the name of YouTube monetization. Everything these guys do is geared towards making money. So I mean, they are literally selling out their own people, right? Because they've got all these young African Americans, black guys, however you want to say it. Okay, I mean, I'll probably get called a racist for calling, saying people black, but I'm a white guy, so I'm gonna, I'm just gonna use the term black guy because that's what I think is correct. Okay, so they got all these young, influential black guys going to their channel, and it's like they're brainwashing them. They're telling them, oh yeah, boxing is racist and everything is racist, and and then and they're like passing on this boxing knowledge, but it's just simply false. Like I said, they only tell half the story. If you go back and watch any of their videos, I mean, they leave out like the most important part, and they just like pluck information. They just kind of nitpick information to fit their narrative. So they're literally, like I said, they're literally selling out their own people to make money, and I think it's shameful. It really is. And all the while pointing the finger, calling people like me and you a racist, right? Because if we think we don't like Mayweather or we don't like Andre Ward, well, it's because we're racist, right? I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it can't be anything else, which I'm not going to get into the fact that Mayweather's a woman beater and cherry picked his career, or Andre Ward, is running around acting like, he just like dominated Kovalev when it was a robbery. Can't be nothing like that. It's got to be that we're racist, right? Okay. This is a game they play. And like I said, they're feeding these young influential people, these young boxing fans, this bullshit. They're just feeding them bullshit just so they can get their click and add up their YouTube monetization. That's exactly what they are doing. Okay, but here's what I say. I say enjoy it while it lasts, because it's coming to an end. Look, I've been around YouTube for about 10 years now. Okay, I mean, I go back to let's see, way before blood boxing. I'm not even going to drop name. I go way back, and I remember when these guys actually created their channel. I remember this. I remember when boxing became like a thing on YouTube. I mean, it wasn't even like really a thing till about 07, 08, but I was around through it all. So I've seen all of these channels evolve into what they are, okay? And the sad thing is some of them have a lot of potential. They could be really good boxing reporters, but, they completely ruin it with this racism, biased reporting garbage that they put out there. So, there's just a lot of things that are a shame, and like I said, and whenever they have to report on a guy like Loma, it's painful for them. And they should be celebrating someone like him, someone like a Pacquiao, like a Loma. Why? Because they're great for boxing. I mean, why wouldn't you? I celebrate a guy like Spence, okay? Thurman, because they're great for boxing, So because I care about boxing, I don't care about what color these guys are. I really don't. So, I mean, that's the difference between, a real journalist and someone basically manipulating young people for profit. Okay, I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. They're selling them a bunch of bullshit for profit. Prime example, these guys run around, love making videos talking about how Kell Brook exposed Gennady Golovkin. I mean, look, Kell Brook got the shit beat out of him. Even Earl Spence said at the Brook Spence press conference, Spence was like, "Why do you keep bringing up Golovkin? Like, you got the shit beat out of you. You got your eye broken, man. You got your face broke." But I mean, this is how desperate and how far these guys will reach. Okay, they will actually tell you that Kell Brook exposed Gennady Golovkin. Okay. I mean, they threw in the towel. This is like Rocky Balboa shit. They threw in the towel because Gennady Golovkin was about 3 minutes away from ending this dude's career. Like he was like literally one punch away from ending Brook's career, putting him in possibly killing him. I mean, so, but no, he was exposed, right? Because he landed an uppercut that everybody, took a screenshot of and made it look all dramatic. But look, like Gennady Golovkin said, he wasn't even phased in that fight. He was marked up, yes, but a lot of that was from lacing, wrestling. That wasn't, those were scrapes. Those weren't bruises. I mean, he had some, but I mean, it's a boxing match. You're going to get hit. So that's just one example, right there. Then they're going to tell you, oh, Jacobs, beat Gennady Golovkin and he exposed them again. I mean, it's just, shit like this. And God, thank God the Mayweather-Pacquiao situation is over, because that was painful. I mean, these guys held Mayweather, up on such a pedestal. And now, really, they're kind of trying to replace Mayweather with Andre Ward, okay? But, and I ask him the same question. I mean, the guy cherry picks his career, and yes, Mayweather is a gifted, talented boxer, don't get me wrong, but he's also, an 8-time wife beater. He likes to beat up on women. He's completely ignorant with his money. He's a terrible role model. There's a lot of things that they'll never mention, so... I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I could give example after example, but the thing is, these guys, like I said, I think it's coming to an end, and and I'm glad. Another example. I was listening to a video It was on Ego's channel. Okay, now he went around claiming, that Andre Ward like quickly, signed a rematch and it only took 4 months. Well, it should have taken 30 days and it took 5.5 to 6 months, not 4 months. Okay, but he also said, there was no way Andre Ward was going to retire. I listened to 2 or 3 videos and he's going on and on and on and on. I'm just giving you one little tiny example, going on and on about how there's no way Andre Ward's going to retire, right? So then he actually got a chance to interview Andre Ward, and he said, people are out there, spreading rumors that you were gonna retire, and he's like, I was, yeah, and dude was shocked. I mean, he was like completely silent, like, oh, okay. I mean, you see what I'm saying here? I mean, it's like, and here's the thing: a lot of these guys, what they do. A lot of these guys get their news like from Twitter or Boxing Scene, and it's just recycled news. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, it's not like, they're out there running around interviewing boxers every day, so don't let them fool you, okay? I really doubt they have all these contacts like feeding them information. In fact, I know they don't because, I mean, you can look at their videos and it's basically the exact same thing as like a Boxing Scene or, something that just came out on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, so that's what they do. They put a spin on it and try to make it their own. But, I'm not knocking them for their hustle, okay? I mean, that's if you want to take, I mean, I do the same thing. I'll take an article and give you my own insight. That's fine. But, they want to, but what they do is I give you the full article. I tell you everything. I report on boxing. I don't like chop it up and twist it up and change it up, to fit my narrative, just to get clicks. And that's what these guys are doing now. And now as far as they're making comments. Now I'm hearing a lot of these guys saying, I don't know how to judge a fight. A lot of them keep saying things like that. Well, I've actually been a judge. So like I said, I got 20 years under my belt. I've actually judged, I don't know, probably 70, 80 amateur fights. I was down at Juan Diaz's gym about 2 months ago. I think there's footage about, I don't know, go down 2 months ago in my library, my video library on my channel, and you'll see I was with Juan Diaz, the Diaz that fought Marquez, Juan Diaz, and I was there judging amateur fights. Okay, they had some Golden Glove tryouts, stuff like that, and I was one of the judges. So, I mean, I've actually scored fights and judged fights. I am a boxer. I have over 40, I got right at 40 amateur fights. I'm enrolled in the Blue Collar Brawler. I got upcoming fights. I'm back in the gym sparring. Right now, the left side of my face is so swollen I can barely talk. But, so I actually box, okay? I get in the ring and box. Now, does that make me more qualified than these other guys? No, not really. I mean, kinda, but I'm not the type to rub it in people's faces like, oh, you never laced them up. So, I don't say shit like that. But, in a way, it's kind of true because, once you get in there and get smacked around by them gloves, I mean, you realize what you're talking about. And also, once you get in the ring and get the shit knocked out of you, you'll stop all that, oh, he got exposed and he's a bum and he's going to get knocked out, he ain't got a chin, all this shit that they say. Like, once you actually get in the ring and try it out for yourself, the way you think and the way you report will change because it really does change the way you think about it. It does. Once you get, like I said, once you get hit, it's kind of like they say everyone's got a plan until they got hit. Well, it's like everyone's got a comment until they get hit. So, I would suggest these guys actually try to box if they're going to be, professional boxing reporters. Okay. So that's, another thing that, that's always bothered me, but, I've never wanted to mention it because I don't want to be, I don't want to be that guy, that says, oh, you never laced them up, that kind of thing. So, but that's basically it, guys. I mean, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I mean, for what it's worth, I don't know. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have made the video, but I mean, this is really, like, let me put it this way. It's making me want to shut my YouTube channel down because, I mean, I don't want to play these games with these guys. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, and to me, it's kind of scary to think that, they're leading the way in the independent boxing media, especially on YouTube. Like, these are the guys covering fights. These are the guys, like, that are giving, a lot of people their boxing news. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, if I didn't know any better, like I would think boxing is just like this, like, like terrible racist biased place or sport. So I mean, like I said, you go listen to any of their videos, and that's kind of the impression you walk away with. So I don't know. So hopefully this channel will bring a little something different. The truth, for one. I mean, that's kind of refreshing, right? I mean, it'll bring you the truth, honesty, integrity, and I'm not biased. And, people accuse me of being biased because of, the way I feel about Andre Ward. But no, it's called being truthful. It's called being truthful and not caring about YouTube monetization. You don't like my channel, unsubscribe, don't watch. I really don't care. I mean, I don't need YouTube to get by in life. And then they're gonna and one last thing. I hear these guys say this a lot. Well, what fights have you covered? What have you done? Well, I can tell you this: in the last in the last month and a half, I've interviewed Oscar De La Hoya, Canelo Alvarez, Chavez Jr., Chavez Sr. I just covered the Premier Boxing Champions. I covered the Canelo Chavez press event. At the PBC event, I had unlimited access. I was hanging out with the Charlo twins all night. Let's see what else. I had a backstage, like the all access pass to Juan Diaz put on an event, and there's a lot of people there, a lot of guys you probably wouldn't know, amateurs, but I had full access to that. I was like a special guest, and I actually judged. I scored some fights down there at the Diaz gym. I'm going to be the permanent media guy for Lou Savarese, the guy that fought Mike Tyson. I'm actually training with his fighters. That these guys that were on Premier Boxing Champions, like I'm training with those guys at his gym. And I'm going to be like his permanent media guy. So when you ask me what are my qualifications, I guarantee you they're better than yours. So look, put it this way: my qualifications reach far beyond Twitter, Google, and YouTube. Okay, so I have maybe these guys. What I'm trying to say, these guys need to listen to what I'm telling them, because look, this bias bullshit, man. It's got to stop. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. I mean, look, here it is. I mean, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, and I'm literally sitting here thinking about shutting my channel down because I'm just sick of this shit. I'm sick. I just want to get away from YouTube and social media because these guys are like completely ruining it for everybody. So, hopefully they'll knock this shit off and we can just get back to boxing.